Hello there, and a very good Tuesday afternoon to you. Welcome along. It is Tuesday, October the 21st, 2025. We're back. We're live. It's the Daily Crack with me, Sean G, here on Global Irish Radio. Happy Tuesday. It is good to be back with you live and in person. A day late this week, but better late than never. And not a bad old day here on the west of Ireland. Heavy showers. In between the showers, though, it's rather nice. It's rather pleasant. Weather remaining somewhat unsettled for most of this week, I think, if you listen to the weather people. But anyway, welcome along, friends. We hope you're well. studio@gir.ie if you feel the need to get in touch with us. We're here with you for the hour. A little discombobulated today. That's because we're just back from a long, grueling cycle to Newport. The lovely town of Newport, on the beautiful river there and the bridge and all of that nice stuff. And you know how it is when you haven't been on the bicycle for a while. Put it this way, I thought I'd have to do the show standing up today. But anyway, recovery time was swift and a nice cup on tea courtesy of Margaret. Things are looking a little better. So we're with you, as I say, for the hour on this rather unsettled day. We just escaped a heavy downpour. We were literally in the door and the sky's open. But anyway, there you go. Nice fresh breeze as well today. So as I say, nice in between the showers. Welcome along. This is Global Irish Radio, and we are the Daily Crack, that little programme we do each day, round about this time, when we can, to bring you up to speed on all that's going on here in Mother Ireland. Mother Ireland checking in. And of course, we bring Irish radio programmes from other parts of the world too. We are the Irish Diaspora Station programmes from all over. So anyway, it's good to be with you, and it's good to be back with you yesterday. And as you know, dozens of websites and apps were down yesterday following a global Amazon Web Service outage. Yep. AWS, as it's known, Amazon Web Services, powers the infrastructure behind many digital platforms, but the service was experiencing a few technical issues yesterday, meaning that a large number of online services did not function properly. All kinds of things. And, you know, it's rather interesting, and you don't notice until there are problems or difficulties or outages, and then you realise the interconnected nature of our world. So relatively a small number of players in the world of cloud computing, and they power all matter of services, things like Snapchat, banking services, airlines, you know, all that stuff. So many different services. You know, they rely on the cloud, but cloud computing, the number of players, not that many. So there you go. Anyway, we're being told today that service is back for most people, and they're working through the backlog of people who experience problems. Technology is a wonderful thing, wonderful when it works. But boy, when it doesn't, it just creates absolute havoc, doesn't it? Anyway, that's that. Onwards, upwards. We hope you're well this Tuesday. Hopefully you had a nice weekend wherever in the world you are. I was looking today and looking at the calendar, as we sometimes do before we come on the air. It is Back to the Future Day today, among many other things. And it caught my eye because there was a little piece in the papers today, unrelated. Michael J. Fox talking about the fact that he hated driving the DeLorean. You know, that the car that they built. They used to build them in Northern Ireland. The DeLorean, I think that's what they call them. Or DeLorean. Maybe DeLorean is what they call it. Anyway, it's the car that was featured in the movies Back to the Future. And Michael J. Fox has been talking about the fact that he actually hated driving the thing. The 64-year-old actor starred in the 1985 sci-fi classic, and the time-travelling car is one of Hollywood's most iconic vehicles. It certainly is. But Fox has admitted that he didn't think much of the car, which was manufactured, as you know, in Belfast. And he said in his memoir, "Future boy, I get to drive the DeLorean. I know what you're thinking, cool. I thought so too," he said at first, but soon I grew to hate driving that DeLorean. First of all, let's face it, it's a SH-1T car. Slow to accelerate with cheap appointments, and that's before our special effects crew added their 2 cents or several $1 million all in. So they did a few modifications. There were some aftermarket modifications to the DeLorean. It was a cool looking car, and they made them in Northern Ireland. They got paid a lot of money to come to Northern Ireland. I think at the time there was big tax breaks and all the rest of it, and they produced a lot of them there for a while, and including one that was used in the Back to the Future movies. But as I say, Michael J. Fox wasn't too impressed with it, not compared to the American cars, which have all these luxury appointments and stuff like that. And it's interesting because the guy who owned DeLorean in Northern Ireland, he said one of the reasons why I think eventually they shuttered up and moved off They couldn't get anybody to show up for work on Sundays. Yeah, or Mondays rather, sorry. They were all hungover from Sunday night. Sunday night used to be a big night out in this country and in the north as well. And Monday mornings, the hangovers, they used to have huge absenteeism levels and stuff like that. So he had a hard job getting them to show up for work on Mondays. The poor lad. Anyway, they eventually stopped trading, went out of business and stopped making the cars altogether. But they were fancy looking cars, they were futuristic. And as you know, featured in that movie, and lots of modifications made to the one, obviously, but it still remains one of the most iconic movie cars of all times, I think, but not too much fun to drive by the sounds of it. Now, another thing that's not too much fun to watch is the presidential the campaigns here in Ireland and the debates. But let me tell you, the last of the presidential debates tonight on prime time. The two candidates, they'll face off for the last time now before the election on Friday. As you know, the presidential election takes place. With only two horses in the race following the shock withdrawal of Jim Gavin very early on in the contest. But anyway, what started out as a cordial contest quickly descended into a mudslinging competition, and that's essentially what it is. They should have put together a mud wrestling ring for the final debate tonight and let them just go at it in a mud wrestling fashion. But anyway, they won't. It'll be much more civilised than that. But anyway, most exciting thing I can tell you that happened over the weekend, and you know, there's a lot of coverage on this campaign. It's getting all of the attention now. All of the other politicians are feeling neglected because all eyes and all the focus and all the attention is on the presidential campaign, as you can imagine, and particularly so as you come into the final week. And you know, you have the polls and all the people on the radio and the television, all the commentary, the analysts, and all of the mudslinging that's going on between the two camps. But anyway, the most exciting thing that happened over the weekend was Catherine Connolly's encounter with Enoch Burke. Oh yeah, and as usual, the Burkes, they did not disappoint. There was a whole lot of shouting and a whole lot of screaming. You always hear the Burkes before you see them. But anyway, Enoch was having a go at Catherine Connolly, saying that her gender ideology was creating all kinds of havoc for him in his life, and he was the victim of her ideology. And as I say, screaming and shouting ensued, and the mother was there as well, backing vocals. And anyway, there was that tense encounter, and then it was broken up and they went their separate ways. But it resulted in Enoch come out anyway, encouraging people to vote for Heather. That was the bottom line for that. So not because he likes Heather or Fine Gael or the government, I don't think he does. But Catherine, obviously, and Catherine Connolly very much even more to the left. So that's the latest. That was the most exciting thing that happened in our weekend in terms of the presidential campaign and things to watch on the news. So there you go. As we said, the last of the debates will take place tonight on prime time. It's probably about 9:35 Sunday night after the news. So if you're not already if you're not had it up to your ears already and you want to make one final or take in one final debate, and if you haven't made your mind up, maybe you're on the fence or whatnot, you get a chance to see and hear both of the candidates as if their final face-to-face encounter tonight on RTE Primetime. And when it started out, the debates were getting fairly high numbers in terms of viewership and stuff like that. The Virgin Media one had more viewers than they had anticipated, but I think it kind of fizzled out because there's been debates every other day and on the radio and everywhere you look. But tonight's the last one, so maybe it'll get a bit more attention than some of the intervening ones. But anyway, that's the latest on the presidential election. Voters will go to the polls this Friday and they will pick the next president of Ireland. And waiting at Oris an Uachtaráin, waiting to his suitcases are packed and he's ready to go. He has to be out of there the first week in November, is the current president, the incumbent Michael D, and he's all ready to go. And he spent 14 years there now. 14 years. The presidential terms in this country are a long, long time. 14 years. You'd want to start doing that when you're about 50. But anyway, he's about 84 now or something like that. He said originally he'd only go for one term, but he ended up going and doing the 2 terms. When have politicians ever stuck to their word? But that's another story. He remains a fairly popular figure as well, it has to be said. But anyway, he took to social media on Monday. Yeah, he used the official President of Ireland account to share a series of photos of his dog, Mishnach. Great name for a dog, isn't it? And pictured alongside Mishnach was a birthday card, because Mishnach is celebrating his last birthday in the Oris. He's turning 5. It's a big happy 5th birthday to Mishnach. And our president took to social media to wish him a happy birthday. Lá Bratha Shonadich wrote the caption wrote, prompting an influx of birthday wishes from fellow social media users. So many shared photos of their own canine companions, extending well wishes, while others hoped the next president would be as much a dog lover as President Higgins. Well, Heather is a cat lover. We know that. I'm not sure about Catherine Connolly. Maybe that's one of the questions for the debate tonight. They've asked him pretty much every other possible question under the sun. But Michael D and his wife Sabine are pictured all over social media and on the papers and different places like that with pictures of Mishnach, their canine friend who turns 5, and it'll be his last. It's a momentous occasion because it will be his last birthday in Oris on Uachtaráin. So there you go. Michael D, bags packed, ready to go, waiting to find out who's coming to relieve him. We'll find out on Friday. So there you go. Will there be any twists or turns between now and Friday? If you've been following the race closely, you'll know that Catherine Connolly she's got quite a significant lead, or she did coming into the weekend. So has anything happened in the meantime to gain ground for Heather? We're not too sure. Not that it's other than the Perks and the Catherine Connolly exchange. There hasn't been a whole lot of action really, but voters, you can never take voters, ask Hillary, you can never take voters' opinions or voters, what they might do for granted. They can always throw you a curveball, so we'll have to wait and see. The only poll, as Catherine Connolly said, that matters is the one that's taking place this Friday. So it's all happening Friday of the bank holiday weekend, and we should know by sometime. Maybe, well, they don't count on Friday. They have to go home and get some rest, and then on Saturday, nice and early, I think they start counting the ballots. Should be easy enough to do. There's only 2 candidates in the race. Jim Gavin, he'll still be on the ballot, and a vote for Jim Gavin will not be a spoilt vote. It'll still count because his transfers, they'll use the transfers, so that could have a factor in it. But with the way things are looking in terms of the latest polls, it looks like Catherine's going to run away with it. But we'll have to wait and see. Can't take anything for granted. Now, welcome along, friends. GlobalIrishRadio.com, GIR.ie. We're the Irish Diaspora Station, and we bring you up to speed on all that you need to know. The latest gossip, the chitter-chatter of the nation, top trending serious news stories. We'll touch on some of the big stories this Tuesday lunchtime as well. There's a few tunes in there for your listening pleasure as well, if there's ever anything you want to hear. Studio at GIR.ie. Always good to hear from you. And we'll say hello to our good pal out there, Johnny Foley, the Waterford man in Chicago, who was in touch with us. I forgot to get back to you on that, on the air at least, Johnny, asking how I got on my driver theory test last week. That's what I was doing this time last week, incidentally enough. What a long time, what a difference a week makes. But anyway, we got that done and dusted last week, over that hurdle, but there are many more hurdles to go. But thanks for checking in on that one. Johnny Foley out there, the Waterford man, great listener to Global Irish Radio, and we hope you're well out there this Tuesday in the Windy City. And lots of exciting things happening in the Windy City. Well, I know the Mayo Association, they're getting ready to celebrate. Tom was telling me they're getting ready to celebrate their big annual dinner dance, which is on the north side this year. Last year was on the south side, so in the interest of fairness and balance, they spread it out north-south each year. So this year it's on the north side. So lots of folks, you don't have to be from Mayo to attend it, but lots of folks from all over, particularly from Mayo. It's the who's who of the Mayo people at that event. I think it's the last coming up, maybe this coming weekend, is it? Or maybe it's the following one. But anyway, it's coming up very, very soon as well. So there you go, and more about that later on. Now, let's take a look at some of the other stories. It's getting a little bit of coverage, a little bit of attention in our papers this Tuesday. Father Ted creator Graham Lenihan has said he will face no further action after being arrested at Heathrow Airport last month on suspicion of inciting violence. We were actually talking about this yesterday with some people, and noting the fact that, if you call the cops... They were actually from London, and they're telling us if you call the cops in London, you had a problem or somebody broke into your house, they'd probably never show up. But this poor fella, the creator, Father Ted creator, Graham Lenihan, he made a few tweets that were offensive to the transgender people, and the police were waiting for him when he landed at Heathrow, and he was arrested. The 57-year-old Irish comedy writer was arrested by the Metropolitan Police after flying in from Arizona over 3 posts that he had made on X about transgender issues, and the arrest sparked criticism, of course, with Harry Potter author J.K. Rowling among those who reacted angrily. She was, of course, supporting him. She's also in the anti-trans camp, and announcing that the probe had been dropped, Graham Lenihan said in a post on social media yesterday, the police, they've informed my lawyers that I face no further action in respect of the arrest at Heathrow in September. So there you go. Graham Lenihan, as I say, one of the creators of Father Ted, that comedy series, that very successful comedy series about Irish priests. The charges have been dropped there in relation to 3 posts that he made on Twitter, or X, whatever. And, it beckons the question, whatever happened? Remember free speech? Whatever happened to free speech? I think we still have it here in this country of ours, but places like England and America and other areas that were bastions for that kind of stuff, not a thing anymore, it seems. But anyway, Gremlin, and he's getting off. He's the charges are not being pursued any further, and you'd wonder what the police, if they have that much time on their hands. But anyway, they don't. It's just that they're very they pick and choose the kind of calls that they tend to respond to, it would appear. But anyway, I digress. So it's some more exciting and better news for you. We often our eyes often catch things that of interest are going under the auction hammer, and seen a nice piece in. It's getting a lot of coverage in on social media as well. A lot of the papers and a lot of the online sites today. It's the fact that Adam Clayton, the U2 bass guitars, he's selling off a bunch of his guitars. So these are definitely nice collector's items, and can pick one up at a bargain price. I would imagine they would appreciate in price over time. But anyway, almost 20 bass guitars owned by U2's rocker Adam Clayton are set to go under the hammer next month. The musician has been he's been seen with these cherished instruments during some of U2's most significant performances, including the band's sellout Vertigo tour back in 2005. Can you remember that far back? Fans will have the chance to view all of these fine guitars at an exhibition honouring the U2 bassist and its collection at the Museum of Style Icons in Newbridge, County Kildare. And then, after the exhibition, it'll end on November the 9th, the collection will travel to Nashville, where it will be sold at the music industry's most eagerly awaited memorabilia event of the year. And up for auction there's about 200, there's a rake of guitars. A rake of bass guitars that the U2 star used over the years. So if that's up your alley and you have the cash, might be a good investment, but definitely a collector's item. As I say, there's a rake of guitars going up under the hammer, and you can read all about them on a lot of the news sites because it's getting a fair amount of coverage. A lot of them pictured in the papers today as well. But there you go. I wonder why he's getting rid of them. Maybe he's sick of them. Maybe he's no room. Maybe he's having a spring cleaning or something coming into the fall. But anyway, that's what's happening, and there's at least 18 of the most iconic bass guitars that were featured or used by him over the course of his very successful career with U2, one of Ireland's biggest musical exports. Anyway, there you go. That's U2 and the collection of guitars available to buy at an auction near you in the very near future. But anyway, now I was looking elsewhere in the papers today. 11,000 have applied to become members of An Garda Síochána here in this country. I would think that's a big uptick in the amount of applications that the Gardaí have received in recent times. But according to today's Irish Daily Star, there have been over 11,000 applications to the Garda recruitment competitions held in 2025. The latest competition, which closed on October the 9th, attracted 4,500 applicants, and this comes after the competition held earlier in the year. February received almost 7,000, 6,500 or thereabouts. So of these, 57% were first-time applicants to the Garda competition. So lots of people wanted to become members of An Garda Síochána, and Lord knows we could use them. We have a huge shortage of Gardaí in this country, and we're talking about the British Metropolitan Police not showing up to, when people call them. In this country, you could be waiting days if you have a problem or somebody breaks into your house or something like that. They're not going to show up right away. And we've seen lots of incidents, and we were watching it, in fact, on recent documentaries on Irish television, the issue with antisocial behaviour and business owners and different people like that who are the victims of attacks and stuff like that. Of antisocial behaviour, talking about the fact that the Gardaí are basically useless. Well, I won't say useless, but they're not there when you need them, and they might show up hours and hours, or they might do a follow-up with you hours and hours after the fact. So it's clear that we have a bit of a law and order issue in this country. We do have a problem, and as I often say here, I haven't seen a guard in this county or this town for the longest time. You wouldn't see them out very often, and certainly not out late at night or they're very selective when they choose to make appearances. But the problem or the thing is, when it comes to policing, visibility is a big thing. It's a big deterrent, isn't it? If you see a squad car or a police car or something like that, it's certainly and you're up to no good, you will take notice. So visibility is a big thing when it comes to policing, and we just don't seem to have the cops, and all the cops that we do have seem to be sent to the big cities like Dublin and Cork and Galway and Limerick. So rural Ireland and different parts of the country, seem to be suffering when it comes to police numbers. So it's nice to see that over the course of the two recruitment drives, the one in the spring and the one more recently, that they've had almost 11,000 interested applicants. But somebody says that they don't get back to them for they're not very good at getting back to people with the applications. I was listening to a couple of people that were on Live Line with Joe Duffy when he was still doing it, saying that 2 or 3 years had passed and he got a call from the Garda recruitment people following up on his application, and he had completely moved on with his life and a whole new career. So we hope that they're a bit more efficient these days than they were a little while back. As I say, we need police officers. We need a lot more police. And Jim Callaghan and the budget, they made provisions to hire another 1,000. But that's probably less than are leaving the force. There was a huge morale problem with the police under the last commissioner, Drew Harrison. Morale went down, and apparently a lot of people were retiring and leaving early and stuff like that. So just to stand steady, you need to hire even more than that. But that's the latest on that. People do want to be guards in this country, and that's a positive thing, isn't it? It is indeed. Now, Global Irish Radio, GIR.ie. We're on as many as 25 digital platforms. We're on Alexa, and we are on the Global Irish Radio app. So many ways to let us tag along, and we appreciate that. Spread the good word, because as Seamus Mulligan and Boston would say, we do have room for a few more listeners. Rightio, one lucky lotto player had a better weekend than most. Yes, we have another lotto millionaire here in this country of ours. Lots of lotto millionaires in recent times, and the latest one got 7 million Saturday night. A grand total of just over 7 million was won by an online player in County Louth, the wee county. Have you noticed anybody? Have your neighbours in County Louth behaving a little bit different this week? Spending a lot of money, that kind of stuff. Anyway, an online player in Louth, they're the latest lotto winner, winning over only one winner, so they're taking home a whopping 7 million. The winning numbers from Saturday night's lotto draw there: 6, 13, 14, 27, 35, 44. Easy enough numbers, you could say, in hindsight, but picking them in advance is, of course, the hard part. So there you go, and the win represents the 8th lotto jackpot win of 2025. The 8th big one, the big millionaire one. Anyway, just the 8th one of, wow. So it was a big rollover. So the win, as I say, just represents the 8th lotto jackpot win of 2025 and is the second winner from Louth. So Louth has been lucky this year, joining successful players from Dublin, Kerry, Limerick, Kilkenny, Mayo and Waterford. So it's only been 7. What month is it? October, nearly November. We only had 7 jackpot winners, so a lot of rollovers, making it, making the amounts bigger. That's why it was 7 million. So congratulations to one lucky player of the lotto in County Louth, the wee county. We hope it brings them great joy and happiness. Yep, we wish them well. And I seen a piece online yesterday about the story of a winner of Euro Millions. And it was a completely different angle, and it was like how winning Euro Lotto or Euro Millions ruined my life. And it could do that. And there was another story the week before, a guy who had won the lottery as well, and he was pictured being taken out by stretcher or something in an ambulance. He had won a lot of money as well, and he hadn't literally stopped partying since he won the money. His day became partying, morning, noon and night. It's all he did, and he partied himself out, and in the end he was being taken away by ambulance. So, it can bring joy or happiness, or it can bring heartache and, trouble. So you have to watch out for that. But anyway, we wish it's the former. Good joy and great joy and happiness, all of that nice stuff. And speaking of happiness and great joy and that kind of stuff, it turns out that sitting down for a Sunday roast is our ultimate happy place. What is your ultimate happy place? Have you ever thought about that? A wine company out of South America did a study into what people's happy place might be. And that sounds like a happy place, sitting down. That's the ultimate one, according to this study by this wine company. And then watching the sunrise on a beautiful beach and taking the first sip of tea in the morning, also our bliss. Again, according to this study by the wine company. And seeing your team scored a football match also made people, they made it into their list of top happy moments. And some 14% said nothing beats browsing a bookshop. So there you go. Some people are easily pleased, and then other people a little bit more difficult to please. But anyway, there you go. A study into happiness. But it turns out topping the list of happy moments and people's happy places is sitting down for a Sunday roast. That is the ultimate happy place. So isn't that good news? And it is a happy place, as you say, for most people. Those, friends, are some of the great and wonderful stories making the news, the social media feeds, the telly and the radio this Tuesday. You're listening to Daily Crack with me, Sean G. I'm a happy man today.
happy man today. I don't know about tomorrow. Will I be in ecstasy or deep in debt and sorrow? There's a pint that's on the table, there's another on the way, and with the girl beside me, I'm a happy man today. There are some who rush about in a panic and a hurry, others lie in bed on their backs and worry, and with all their care and worry, bolted doors and locked up locks, we'll all end up in safety, pushing daisies in a box. If I'm a happy man today, I don't know about tomorrow. Will I be in ecstasy or deep in debt and sorrow? There's a pint that's on the table, there's another on the way, and with the girl beside me, I'm a happy man today. I suppose that there are those whose life is only roses, and they only have to pluck to hold them to their noses. Others on the slag heap, if they search and pray, there's a chip of glass might glisten like a diamond in the day. If I'm a happy man today, I don't know about tomorrow. Will I be in ecstasy or deep in debt and sorrow? There's a pint that's on the table, there's another on the way, and with the girl beside me, I'm a happy man today. Answers. I don't have all the questions, and the worries of the world won't be solved for my suggestions. But this is one suggestion, that you raise your glass and say, I don't know about tomorrow, I'm a happy man today. If I'm a happy man today, I don't know about tomorrow. Will I be in ecstasy or deep in debt and sorrow? There's a pint that's on the table, there's another on the way, and with the girl beside me, I'm a happy man today. If I'm a happy man today, I don't know about tomorrow. Will I be in ecstasy or deep in debt and sorrow? There's a pint that's on the table, there's another on the way, and with the girl beside me, I'm a happy man today.
There you go, that's the Prodigals. I'm a happy man today.
You're listening to Sean G on Global Irish Radio.
Hello, all you Global Irish Radio listeners out there, wherever you may be. It's myself, Finbar, here in beautiful northern Colorado, inviting you along to the Raggle Celtic Folk Show, streaming here live every Monday and Friday evening at 10 p.m. Irish time, where you're guaranteed to hear some rare old recordings from the old country and beyond. And it's all here on globalirishradio.com, the home of the Raggle. Listen to the Raggle on Global Irish Radio.
That's right, friends. That's Finbar. Thank you, Finbar, from the Raggle Celtic Folk Show. Finbar will be back with another exciting edition of the Raggle this Friday at 7, so watch out for that one. Coming up later on today, it is Tuesday, so Jim Corbett's radio show. The Jim Corbett radio show from Bundoran, County Donegal, comes your way between 6 and 8 tonight, so check that one out. Lots of great music, requests and dedications. Tom, Big Tom, Tall Tom. Big Tom is gone. Big Tom is taken. Tall Tom in Chicago will be back tonight. DJ Tom will be back at 8 o'clock tonight Irish time, 2 o'clock local time Chicago, with Tom's Irish radio show. Tom at gir.ie if you want any requests or dedications. Ger O'Brien, I think he's back. I think he's back on the radio. He was convalescing there for a little period of time from irishradio.org, a familiar voice on there, well known on irishradio.org, syndicated to Global Irish Radio on Tuesday nights and the Country Music Countdown and that kind of stuff. I think he's back tonight at... if he's not, it'll be DJ Terry, who is a character in his own right. But I think Ger O'Brien's back tonight, 9 to 11, syndicated to us from irishradio.org, so watch out for that. And another chance to catch this programme, The Daily Crack, with me, Sean G. So, and if you miss it live or you can't stay up till 11 o'clock tonight to the repeat, You can get it anytime at dailycrack.com or wherever you get your podcast. It drops his podcast later on after the show is over, that kind of thing. We should have another edition of the Irish Ranter for you soon. I haven't heard from the Ranter this week yet, but that's not unusual. We'll let you know when plans are afoot to record the next edition of the Irish Ranter. IrishRanter.com for all previous episodes. Catch up with the Ranter. So there you go. And if you're looking for good podcasts, irishpodcasts.com, a little website that we created, or a link that we created to link you to all of the most listened to podcasts here in this country of ours. There's a top 10 countdown. You can see what's topping the list at any given time, and there's something there for every taste. And podcasting is great because you can do it on your own terms. Just listen on demand. Find a few good ones, follow them, and they will change your life forever. Now, oh, by the way, a notable obituary that we probably should share with you because we were shocked to see it, and that is to do with the Tipperary football manager, Philip Ryan, or Philly Ryan as he was known. The funeral arrangements for Tipperary manager Philly Ryan, who died aged only 57, have been announced as family and friends community come to terms with his tragic passing. Philly died suddenly on Saturday and will be buried on Wednesday at St. Patrick's Cemetery, Clonmel, following a mass at St. Peter's and Paul's Church at 1 p.m. So there you go. That is the Tipperary football manager, Philly Ryan, who died unexpectedly at the age of 57, very young age. And I imagine he was a fairly fit man if he was managing a football team or the Gaelic football team there in Tipperary. So condolence to all there. That is shock and sadness for the community and for his family at that young age of 57. Now, I was listening to Matt Cooper on The Last Word, a current affairs programme on Today FM, and he had an hour-long interview yesterday with Catherine Connolly. I think Heather will be with them before the week is out for her interview. Didn't catch too much of that because, well, I'm partied out when it comes to the presidential interviews and that kind of thing. We've had so much of it everywhere we look. But another story that he was covering, and it was a court case that happened in Dublin yesterday. It involves a young girl that was attacked, and it's a horrific story and shocking story. A man who left his ex with lifelong injuries after he tried to murder her by stabbing her 50 times. That court case came before the justice or the judge yesterday, as you say, in Dublin. Awful case. And just looking at the papers, and every day it's no different. The amount of just like cases involving violence against women, I often reference it here on the programme, it's astounding, it's shocking, and you wonder what's happened to us. We've become wealthier and better off and everything like this in the country, but our values have certainly gone the other way, it seems. The amount of just like cases involving violence against women, but this is a particularly horrific one. And the young girl, essentially a miracle, I would say, that she survived. It's stabbed, imagine, 50 times. And there's a picture of her. She's leaving the court on crutches. She's disfigured. And I don't mean this in a cruel way, but, you know, her life has been completely turned upside down. She looks... You know, it's a horrific attack, and she bears all the hallmarks physically of that attack, where she was stabbed obviously 50 times. And the judge even talked about how awful and horrific the attack was. And then comes to sentencing, and what do you know? The guy gets 14 years. 14 years for an attack that basically the young girl should have died from, but for some miraculous reason didn't, and lived to tell the tale. And her life has been completely... forget about the psychological aspect and the psychological trauma and baggage that she will have to carry around for the rest of her life. She has the physical, scars of that brutal attack. And this guy gets 14 years. Essentially, you know, he all but killed her, and his intent was to kill her, but she survived, as you say, miraculously, stabbed over 50 times, and her life has been ruined. Her life is, you know, in every sense of the word. She continues to live, but, you know, the beauty, I would say, is gone out of life for that young lady. And this guy gets 14 years, even after the judge, Mrs. Justice Mary Ellen. You'd wonder if it was herself that it was the victim of the attack, or a daughter of hers, or somebody close to her. Would she be so lenient in terms of... I think 14 years was rather lenient. And as I say, it's a miracle that the young lady survived. And she has a lot to deal with, a lot to contend with, and moving on will be very, very difficult. There'll be a lot of looking back. This guy will be able to get on with his life without looking back, I suppose, after maybe he'll be out after about 8 or 9 years, maybe even the prison sentence or the courts or the jail system in this country is really a joke in many regards. He'll be out in a few years. He'll be out in 5 or maybe 10 years, and he'll be able to get on with his life, but she'll never be able to move on from that awful attack. So I was astounded by the leniency of that sentence. Only 14 years, as you say. It should have been essentially treated as a murder sentence, because he all but killed her. But there you go, he'll be out in a few years. It's unbelievable. Anyway, another story involving the courts that I see in our papers today. The courts service spent more than $5 million on interpreters for criminal trials and civil proceedings over the past 18 months. So, yeah. Imagine that, 5 million on interpreters. So all of these... Not only do we have to house these people and put them up in hotels and different stuff like that and provide for all kinds of expenses and stuff like that, when they commit crime, instead of booting them out of the country, we're spending millions on translation fees or translation stuff like that. So it's a crazy world, isn't it? Surely is. Anyway, it turns out, another interesting piece in the papers today, it turns out that when it comes to Irish people and sniffing out fake news, we as Irish people, we're pretty good at it. Yeah, we have a good BS radar, if you know what I mean. And I think Irish people, that's one thing about Irish people, I think we've always had, for the most part, I don't know about the up-and-coming generations because they're so buried in devices and technology and social media and stuff like that, they're not even aware of their surroundings. But I think... older generations certainly had a good good sense of street smart about them, and that's very, very important. I always say that a degree from the University of Hard Knocks or the University of Street Smarts is way ahead of an academic degree, because sometimes academic degrees you can be as smart as could be when it comes to a book, but you've no cap on or no survival skills in the real world. But anyway, turns out, according to this new survey, it's an extensive survey because they interviewed over 26,000 people. So this is, it's got a certain amount of credibility that comes with it. More than 4 out of 10 Irish people believe they are frequently exposed to disinformation and fake news on a regular basis. That's according to the findings of a new EU-wide survey. So this is a far-reaching survey. However, research commissioned by the European Parliament on social media use also found that Irish citizens feel more confident than almost all other Europeans about being able to recognise disinformation when they encounter it. In other words, we know when we smell a rat. The Eurobarometer is called, it should be the BS barometer, but anyway, the Eurobarometer poll revealed that 42% of Irish people believe they were often or very often exposed to deliberate and false information within the previous 7 days. And the figure is an increase of 6 percentage points since a similar survey was last conducted, which was back in 2022. So we do have awareness about us. We do have a certain skepticism about things that we see. Some people, they read something on Facebook or online and they say, well, because they've seen it on the internet, well, it must be true. But not necessarily. And we Irish people, it turns out, we have a healthy skepticism about stories that we see and sniffing out real news from fake news. And we don't just take anything at face value. The report, which surveyed over 26,000 EU citizens, including over 1,000 in Ireland, revealed that cross-checking suspected disinformation with other sources of information is the most common way of verifying content, which is used by 42% of Irish people. That is good to know. That is good to see, because in a world where there is so much misinformation, so much disinformation, it's good to know. And 72% of us think that we can spot disinformation online. That's a healthy number. That's a good statistic. And as we say, it was a wide-ranging survey. Over 26,000 across Europe participated, and Irish coming out fairly well top of the list there in terms of their belief that they have a good snout on them, a good nose for sniffing out the fake news and what's real and what's not. And that's a big challenge. It's a challenge for everybody these days, because you go online. In the old days, well, if you picked up a newspaper in the old days, you knew that if the story appeared in the newspaper that it was real and it had been fact-checked, and editors wouldn't be able to print something that wasn't true. Nowadays, anybody can put any kind of story out there, and they can, do it to suit their own agenda. And it's very hard to navigate the world of news and current affairs and politics, because there is so much fake news and there's so much disinformation, so much misinformation. But turns out, we Irish, we have a good old snout on us, a good old nose for sniffing out that kind of thing, and we regard ourselves, we have a healthy skepticism about it, and we're probably ahead of our European counterparts in terms of being able to do that. So we have a bit of street smarts, that's what I would say, and we don't take anything at face value. So you check the story and you cross check it, and you just don't take it at face value. So that's an interesting survey that's getting coverage in a lot of the papers today as well. And as I say, a good old snout on us indeed. Let us continue with the music. A medley of tunes now. I think it's from Foster and Allen. Is it Foster and Allen with a medley of tunes on the Irish Daily Crack? It's Sean G here on Global Irish Radio, with you till 4.
When Irish eyes are smiling, Sure, it's like a morning spring in the lilt of Irish laughter. You can hear the angels sing. When Irish hearts are happy, all the world seems bright and gay. And when Irish eyes are smiling, sure they steal your heart away. As I was walking down Broadway, not intending to stay very long, when who should I meet but this pretty fair maid as she came tripping along. What she pulled out of her pocket and slipped it right into my hand. On the very first day that I met her, bad luck to her black velvet band. Her eyes, they shone like diamonds. You would think she was queen of the land. And her hair, it hung over her shoulders, tied up with the black velvet band. There's one fair county in Ireland with memories so glorious and grand, where nature has lavished its bounty. It's the orchard of Erin's green land. I love its cathedrals and city, once founded by Patrick, so true, and it bears in the heart of its bosom the ashes of Brian Boru. It's my own Irish home, far across the foam, although I've often left it in foreign lands to roam. No matter where I wander, through cities near or far, my heart's at home in old Ireland, in the county of Armagh. When Irish eyes are smiling, sure it's like a morning spring in the lilt of Irish laughter. You can hear the angels sing. When Irish hearts are happy, all the world seems bright and gay. And when Irish eyes are smiling, should they steal your heart away? And when Irish eyes are smiling, sure they steal your heart away.
Global Irish Radio is excited to partner with 950 WROL AM, the Spirit of Boston, to bring you portions of the Irish Hit Parade, providing the soundtrack to your weekend. Join Paul Sullivan on Saturdays 3 to 7 p.m. Irish time and famous Seamus Mulligan on Sundays 7 to 10 p.m. for a feast of Irish music. Streaming live from Boston right here on globalirishradio.com.
Good deeds are great things, and a single good deed can grow into a forest of kindness. At treedeeds.com, you can dedicate a tree in someone's honour and make a lasting impact on the planet. Each tree is deeded and comes with a personalised certificate, perfect for birthdays, holidays, memorials, or just because. Celebrate life, give back to nature, and leave a legacy that grows. Visit treedeeds.com today. That's treedeeds.com. Rooted in Ireland, gifted worldwide. There you go. You're very welcome back. It's the Daily Crack with me, Sean G, on Global Irish Radio, dailycrack.com for all previous episodes. Now, more good news for Westlife fans. We were telling you on the programme Friday, wasn't it, that they have announced some reunion tours or reunion dates for their 25th anniversary. And now, they're the band that keeps on giving. Westlife have announced another 5 concerts at the 3 Arena in Dublin, so ticket sales must be going fairly well, I would imagine. So bringing their run of shows for September next year to 10. So originally it was 6. They've added a few more. Maybe it was 5, I don't know. But does the math add up? Just 4 days ago, the band announced a special homecoming series of shows at Dublin's 3 Arena with concerts scheduled for September the 22nd, 23rd, 24th, 25th and 26th. Anyway, now a bunch of the tickets are going to sale on October the 23rd, and they've announced an additional 5 nights. So if you're a Westlife fan, you'll be excited and delighted about all of that. That's Westlife. Anyway, 25 years. Hard to believe they've been around for 25 years. Now, in terms of the top trending series news stories of the day, let's touch on that real quick because, as you know, as we mentioned at the top, there's another debate tonight and that's getting a lot of attention now and has been. The final debate of the 2025 presidential election campaign will kick off tonight on RTE's Prime Time. The live broadcast will be presented by Miriam Callahan and Sarah McInerney, and it begins at 9:35 p.m. During the 2018 campaign, 885,000 viewers tuned in at some point during the Prime Time presidential debate. So this is the big one. This is the one they've been practicing for over the past few weeks. Forget about all those other ones on the radio and Virgin Media and different places. Like, this is the one. This is the big one. This is the one that they have to, they have to deliver, don't they? Anyway, in last year's general election, there was debate which featured 10 of the party leaders. That's right, Katie Hannon moderated that one. That's a tough one to do, a debate with 10 party leaders. Tonight, it'll be a little bit more straightforward. Anyway, tonight's offering will have just 2 candidates, as you know, independent Catherine Connolly and Fine Gael's Heather Humphrey, as Jim Gavin is gone out of the race. A lot of people are saying, and I've been saying it all along as well, that Heather's going to struggle and she is struggling because she's got the Fine Gael baggage to contend with. Plus the fact that she is not even the party's first choice. The first choice, Mairead McGuinness, backed out earlier on for health reasons. It's been an interesting race, hasn't it? And then, of course, you had Jim Gavin withdrawing from the race, changing the dynamic of the race further. But anyway, Heather not even the first choice. She was sure that she was retired. She thought she was going to be attending Marty's party in the south of Spain or wherever it is, the Country and Western weekend hosted by Marty Morrissey. But then she came back out of retirement to run for President of Ireland and represent the Fine Gael party. But the campaign hasn't been going well for her if we are to look at the polls. Friday we'll find out exactly how bad or how good it is for her. But anyway, the 2 candidates facing off tonight on RTE on Prime Time. And somebody is saying there's a cost of living issue crisis in this country and inflation is rearing its ugly head again. And we heard on the radio today that the price of butter in supermarkets, and we talked about the possibility of a price war or a supermarket price war breaking out in terms of the milk, because a lot of the big chains were reducing the price of their own brand milk last week. But the price of butter has gone up €1 since this time last year. So on the butter barometer, inflation is through the roof. So that's something that Heather and Fine Gael will probably be punished for, I think, in the presidential election on Friday as well. But there you go. Another story, and it's one that we actually talked about there. A woman who survived being stabbed 50 times at in an attack by her former partner in Dublin last year has urged women who may be in an abusive relationship to seek support as soon as they possibly can. So a very courageous young lady coming out there talking about her own experience and reaching out and telling other people to seek help. Niamh Kelly was left with lifelong injuries after 22-year-old Josh O'Brien assaulted her for up to 6 minutes on a street in Dublin in September 2024. She was stabbed over 50 times. So the young lady at the centre of that attack coming out and encouraging others to get help. Another ugly story. A 26-year-old man has appeared in court charged in connection with the sexual assault of a 10-year-old girl in Dublin in the early hours of yesterday morning. The girl was in the care of Tues. She reported that she had been sexually assaulted and Gardaí commenced a criminal investigation. The man was arrested yesterday morning for questioning and charged in the early hours of the morning. And there you go. Another ugly story. And finally, for now, electric vehicle owners in Ireland are paying significantly more than most European countries to charge their cars at home. That's according to new research from Dundeal.com, or Dundeal, yeah. That's the platform for selling your car, Dundeal Cars. Now, based on analysis from the buy and sell platform, charging a family-sized EV like a Volkswagen at home costs about €1,132 a year in Ireland, which is €398 more in electricity than places like Spain, 306 more than the Netherlands, 249 more than France, 230 more than the UK. So significantly higher than other European countries. And all the push and all the talk is about this transition to electric vehicles, which I personally cannot. I hate them. Don't like how they drive. Don't like how they look, and I don't like how much the electricity costs. But the biggest thing in this country is getting the electricity, because we have storms here where our electricity goes out for days, maybe weeks at a time. So, if you're relying on the electricity and the electric vehicles to get you around, you're going to be at some point let down or disappointed. But now comes the news, according to Dundee, that the cost of charging your car is much more as well in this country than, say, other countries. So there you go. That's the latest. Those, friends, are some of the top trending serious news stories of the day right here in Mother Ireland.
Now the village that I come from, it's a real close family. But lately, some of the neighbours have disowned a few others and me. Now it could be drink or women that has altered their position. See, I'm the bloke that went and broke that old family tradition. Why do you drink? Why do you smoke? Why don't you change your ways and start sipping coke? Every woman that I've known, she's ended up in that condition. When I get tight, I stay up all night. It's a family tradition. Confess, I've loved some women and I drank some wine, and the two of them nearly killed me back in 1989. Now when the doctor asked me, dear Ned, how did you get into that condition? Sure, Dr. John, I'm only carrying on an old family tradition. Why do you drink? Why do you drink? Why do you drink? Why do you smoke? Why do you smoke? Why don't you change your ways and start sipping coke? Every woman that I've known, she's ended up in that condition. When I get tight, I stay up all night. It's a family tradition. I nearly killed myself drinking porter in the town of Featherton-Sea, with a crowd of the local cowboys who could drink a lot more than me. Now does a leopard change his spots? I think I'll stick with my position. I'll sing his song and stay up all night long. It's a family tradition. Why do you drink? Why do you drink? Why do you smoke? Why do you smoke? Why don't you change your ways and start sipping coke? Every woman that I've known, she's ended up in that condition. When I get tight, I stay up all night. It's a family tradition. When I get tight, I stay up all night. It's a family tradition. Come on, girls, let's yodel. Yodel-lady, hey, yodel-lady, oh, yodel-lady.
Ah, yes, the yodeling sounds of Dermot O'Leary and the Bards. Family tradition bringing us almost across the finishing line this Tuesday. You'll be listening to the Daily Crack with me, Sean G. Here with each day, most days, 3 to 4. Keep you connected with Mother Ireland on Global Irish Radio. We are the Irish Diaspora Station. We're broadcasting live each day from just outside Castlebar here in lovely County Mayo, a little place called Glen Island. Go to the Radio Garden website and zoom in and you'll see exactly where we are. Beautiful, picturesque part of County Mayo with Croagh Patrick off in the back, and over to the right of that we can see the lovely Clear Island, immortalised in song by the Saw Doctors, of course. So on a clear day you can see all of those lovely mountain ranges and the ocean. That's on a clear day. Today it's a little bit cloudy. The sun is nice sunny spells, but there are heavy showers. So if you're heading out and you're in these parts, you'll want to bring the umbrella and the jacket with you this Tuesday. That's a lot for today. Thank you so much for your company since 3, and we'll meet you back here tomorrow, same time, same place. Thanks to Margaret helping out as always in the background. Spread the good word, globalir.com, GIR.ie, and for all previous episodes of this show, The Daily Crack, go to dailycrack.com. Our quote today to finish up comes from a lad called Jonas Salk. Jonas Salk. Have you ever heard of him? Have you came across him? I hadn't either, but here's the quote and here's what he said. Jonas said, "The reward for work well done is the opportunity to do more." Isn't that the truth, Jonas? So there you go, friends. Make what of that what you will. The reward for work well done is the opportunity to do more and more and more and get well paid for it too. So there you go. That's a lot, friends. We'll leave you with the Saw Doctors. I love to go wander, and see you back here tomorrow at 3.
I thought I'd live forever, sure, I think most people do. When I was young, I knew it all, now I haven't got a clue. Oh, sur le pont d'Avignon, that's going back a while. When I think of Brother Nolan's class, he always makes me smile. But in my mind, I love to go wandering back in time to those golden autumn days. They bring a smile, the summer's light is fading, and we wave all our cares away.
and around the world. You're listening to globalirishradio.com.